In the Pits is sponsored by Hustletown Paintball. Hustletown is a brand by Jason Tinsley of Houston that is all about representing Houston paintball and highlighting its local talent. Head to hustletownpaintball.net to browse their selection of casual wear and use code PIT10 for 10% off of your order. In the Pits is partnered with Compete. Compete is a Texas-based brand by Jell Stewart of professional team AC Diesel that provides custom jerseys, pants, headbands, straps, tech shirts, and any other soft goods to help individuals and teams compete at the highest level. Support Texas Paintball and message Compete on Facebook or Instagram and mention In the Pits Podcast for 10% off your entire order. In the Pits is sponsored by FUAthletics, created with a purpose and focused on building a better you. We are a brand that matters in your workout, and every purchase gives back to cancer research. Go to thefuathletics.com and use code INTHEPITS25 for 25% off of your order. In the Pits is partnered with Get Dat Shot. Get Dat Shot now offers first-in-line photo and video editing, 20% off Get Dat Shot merch, and 20% off prints to all teams that wear the Get Dat Shot logo on their jersey. Message GetDat_shot on Facebook or Instagram to become a Get Dat Shot program team. In the Pits is partnered with Paintball Kumite. Paintball Kumite is a program designed by Colt Roberts of professional team San Antonio X Factor to take paintball players of all ages, experience levels, and skill groups and mold them into champions. The program breaks the game down into small, easy-to-learn sessions designed to help you master the fundamentals so that you can elevate your game. Newcomers to the program get a free 1-hour introductory class when mentioning In the Pits. To sign up for a class, message at Paintball Kumite on Instagram. Welcome everybody to episode 41 of In the Pits Paintball Podcast. This podcast is focused on everything that has to do with the paintball scene here in Texas, from professional players and teams to new divisional programs, local tournament series, field owners, Texas-based brands, even photographers and videographers. Every week, we'll have a short and sweet episode with a new topic and special guest. I'm Kirsten Smith. I'm a player for the Texas Titans, and this episode we are going in the pits with Tim Watson. Everyone calls him T. He's player for Outlaw Anodizing, and he's most recently the MVP of the Bunkerfest Alamo Blitz event in D3 X-Ball. T, how are you doing this evening?
What's up, baby? Feeling good, man. How you feeling over there?
Feeling good. I want to give you a special thank you. Our guest for tonight was originally supposed to be Andrew Howe. He had a family emergency, so T graciously was available and agreed to step in last minute. So T, appreciate you on that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hope he's good, because that dude's let's just say he packing big old thing, because that dude's such a good ref. He held it down at Bunkerfest, and Devin actually told me he's like one of the best refs ever. You told me he was the big dog in the NXL, so hope he's good, but we'll step in and try and fill those shoes right here with your boy. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, you're no slouch yourself either in the paintball world. So first off, I mean, let's get right into it. You just won Bunkerfest Alamo Blitz event. You were voted by your team as the MVP of the tournament. So how was the tournament experience for you?
Let's go. Man, they check in, they don't check out. You know what I mean? So we was ready the whole time. My team's nasty, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I got the MVP. Really, I don't even know if I deserved it, because everybody on my team is so disgusting, like rated R, Pornhub style, nasty. Everybody plays so well. It was really just, the finals where I kind of killed it. That gave me that little push over the MVP edge. But yeah, no, it was a crazy tournament. And really, anybody on our team could have got it. My boy Crab Sebastian had a disgusting one-on-one, like just Max, the sensei, the wizard, he went off. My boy Justin Case, I'm sure you know him. He works for Outlaw. He was Mr. Consistent the whole tournament. My boy Ryland, just be fearful of him, because he come in at all times. So the fact that I got it, I think it was just because of the finals, so that was cool. But no, overall, Bunkerfest was amazing, man. Like, not to take away from any of the other events that I've played, but both Bunkerfest stood out to me for sure. Like, the vibe, first off, like, it's like community vibe. It's way less kind of chaotic in the sense of everybody's running around like a chicken with their head cut off. Like, the scheduling, at least for D3, I don't know about the other divisions, was on point. Everything was on time. Revving was good. Everything just went smoothly. So I think Chris Rangel did a really, really good job on just holding it down for paintball. A lot of people go for the money grab, but I really think he goes for the experience and like the quality of tournaments. So for us, it was really amazing, man. Like both Bunkerfest were just superb. The last Bunkerfest, we kind of fell short. You know, I was shooting granny shots at the hoop. You know, they didn't really go in. But this Bunkerfest, we came out on top, so it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said about Rangel, making sure the environment is there for everybody, not just the people on the podium. I think every single person that was there, they all had a great time, whether they were a player, whether they were a parent or a child or a sibling, whether they were a vendor, everybody there, the experience was for everyone. And I think it really showed. Rangel definitely put on a well-executed event. I mean, there's hiccups here and there. But it, you know, all small things. Obviously, the big things were done really well. Especially there was, I don't know if you were there on that day because it happened on Sunday, but there was a moment when Bull actually collapsed in the pits, and we were there with him because it was right before the start of the finals match for D5. So just really impressed with how Chris was able to handle that situation. Just immediately, he had everything in place, and it showed that, like, hey, you know, all of this planning, like everything was prepared, everything was executed really well. So hats off to Chris.
Yeah, man. Shout out Bull. I'm glad he's okay. That's my dog. He's a zone dude. I've known Bull for you know, the past 5 years since I started. And I think that they did handle it well. And Norris, the Sandana guy, I don't know if you know Norris, but he's a nurse. And like immediately I heard someone scream, "Get Norris!" And dude, he looked like Black Panther, just sprinting over to the pins. He comes over and he's immediately helping. I just got out the way. Yeah, I was actually standing right there. That really was scary though. But like you said, Rango held it down. All the small things. Nah, he like those are gonna happen at every event. You know, anything that you do. But I think big picture wise, dude was Picasso, and he painted it perfectly, and it was executed really, really well. And then the prizes were good too, right? None of us play for the prizes, bro. We play for the pride and the bragging rights. But the fact that prizes are cool. Like, I'm buying a new coffee table with some of my money. You know what I mean?
I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? When you're walking away with $6,000.
A little bit of seasoning, you know what I mean, to the salsa. So, yeah, no, shout out to Bunkerfest. 100%. It was a great event for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you said that you think it was just the finals that eventually secured you your MVP. Tell me a little bit more about, was it like one specific moment? I mean, I was with my D4 and my D5 teams coaching them, so I wasn't able to watch the finals for D3, but tell me more about this moment.
Yeah, I mean, so I did play well. I played way more than I thought I was going to play because, like I said, my team is just full of cold-hearted killers. Like, take your wife, take your wallet, like they coming for your throat. But I was playing well from the first match, so I did play a lot. Shout out Devin Stewart for playing your boy. But in the finals, okay, so there was like a minute left. We were tied up. And Devin, who is a superb coach, his play calling is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I can't take nothing away from it. But he did say, yo, we're playing for overtime. You know, like, I think we can beat these guys. Nobody die stupid. Nobody get penalties. Don't try and rush. We're playing for overtime. And I looked at him dead in his face, those beautiful eyes of his, and I said, hey, if I see a moment, do I go for the win? And he goes, T, we're playing for overtime. I go, I know. But if we get a couple kills and I see the moment, can I go for the win? And he goes, all right, go for the win, but we're playing for overtime. And sure enough, when the chaos ensued, 2 or 3 of our guys get taken out, 2 or 3 of their guys get taken out. I just saw it. I knew that there was 2 guys left. I was like, definitely the Texas, because everybody went to the Texas. Like, everybody has a Facebook. Like, I knew that was going to be hot. And it was going to be the Dorito can or the Snake Aztec. So I was like, yo, this is it. Like, I know he's in the Texas and one of those other 2 bunkers. So I launched. I think there was 40 seconds left. Went through the middle. My boy Justin, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Make Your Gun Look Like a Spectacle. He killed the Dorito can. So it was 2-on-1 at this point. I just saw the Dorito can start walking off as I come around the Texas. Night-nighted the Texas guy, and then went and there was maybe 30 seconds left, and I went through. He actually spun. It was a lot of like chaos and controversy. You'll see the refs talking about it if you go back and watch the footage. But you know, it went our way, and I was able to. And yeah, you know, we got that point. You know, with like I think 15, 16 seconds left, and then we just had to hold him off for that last little 15 seconds to win. But yeah, that run through at the end, I think really kind of solidified the MVP. Like I said, anybody on my team could have got it. My boy Max Porcher, Twisted Texas Tyrant. He really, in my opinion, was the MVP of the whole tournament, but he said, nah, you get it for that last move. So I just saw the move, bro. Like, this is my 5th year in playing paintball. Most of the dudes that I play with have been playing like their whole life. So I'm sure they see those moves quicker than I do. But I saw the move, so I took the risk. I risked it for the brisket, as they say. And it worked out in my favor. So, just got to be grateful for it and glad that my team put us in a position to do that. Shout out to Devin for the flawless game plan. I mean, we went undefeated. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. But we might have been the only D3 team that went undefeated the whole tournament. Like, we didn't lose a match. I think we dropped like 4 or 5 points the whole tournament, which also just shows our girth. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we were playing lights out, and it just, the team put me in a position to make a move. So I'm just thankful it worked out in my favor, man.
For sure. I mean, it takes big players to step up at big moments, right?
And dude, it's something I say all the time. I say big players have big moments in big games. And I might not be the most, graceful when I'm diving. I might not be the most finessed when I'm sliding. But when it comes down to the time to get rowdy, I'm going to get rowdy, bro. So, I got rowdy and it worked out. You know what I mean? But it's all because of my team. Again, they put us in the position for me to do that. And I told my boy Justin, he goes, T, who's left? I go, it's just us two. Stay alive, bro. And I just launched, and it worked out. And then the big dub came our way. So, no, it's super cool, man. It was great to be able to have that moment. And it was great to be able to share that experience. I don't know if you saw any of the footage, but bro, we were acting like it was New Year's Eve in Dubai when we won. I mean, we were like, the way we were popping those bottles and jumping around, it was like a kangaroo show. It was ridiculous. So I'm just super happy that we all got to experience that together. And the fact that they voted the MVP for me, I mean, I'll take it. It's a team win, but yeah, I'll take it for sure, obviously, right?
I mean, yeah, just those moments, especially when it's a huge moment like in like tie game to go up with the no time remaining. Those are big moments. I mean, we had our D5 player in the D5 finals and went to overtime. Our guy Damon, who saw the opening down the Dorito side, went streaking down, shot, I think it was 2 or 3 dudes in the back to secure the win in overtime in D5. Big players step up in big moments.
Guy,
oh yeah,
big players have big moments in big games, man. Damon, we rocking with that. I love that.
Yeah, I want to say
in any division, I don't care if it's D6, rookie, or if it's semi-pro. Winning a tournament is hard. It just is hard, right? Like the paint's against you, the refs are against you, the weather conditions, everything's against you. So in any division, like if you're able to capture that dub and do that stroll down Glory Road, I'm a fan, I'm a supporter, and I'm gonna hype you up. So yeah, shout out to your D5 guy, Damon, man. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Texas Titans continuing the winning tradition at Bunkerfest, for sure.
Let's go.
And
okay, Titans, calm down.
I want to say to both of y'all, welcome to the MVP club.
Oh, okay. I got my reg at the crib, but yeah, I like that. Sure. Tomahawk, I ain't gonna lie, the Tomahawk is fire. So
it's pretty nice, not gonna lie. All right, so for those listening, maybe they don't know who you are as a person. Maybe they're not from Texas or from the Houston scene. Tell us about how long have you been involved in paintball?
Okay, so this is my 5th year. Fifth year. I played at Twisted Texas. I just went to play rec ball one weekend. I was at the time, so I make music, right? I'm a hip hop artist and a songwriter, and I was very caught up in the music scene, partying a little too much. I'm from Houston. I was sipping a little too much of that syrup, and I needed a new hobby, bruh. I was just like, I keep doing the same thing every weekend, partying. So I was like, yo, let's go play paintball. And I went one weekend, and I think I played like 48 weekends straight. Like, I didn't miss.
Jeez.
Started with reg ball at Twisted. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
Because I just got bit by the bug, and I started at Twisted. And for our team, Twisted is like the backbone of all of it. It's the origin. Like, none of us would be where we are without Twisted. And I started playing reg ball there, and then pretty swiftly I moved on to like air ball and tournament ball. But yeah, this is like my 5th season. And yeah, it's cool. I've enjoyed the ride, man. It's become from what was a new little hobby to take me away from being ratchet to like one of my life's passions and something I'm an advocate for. I tell everybody about, like my friend's barbecue the other day. I'm putting up paintball clips. I'm showing them the HK highlights, the NXL footage. Like, I love it, and I really am a firm believer that we all have to grow the sport. We all have to do our part, and I try to do that for sure.
For sure. I mean, self-advocacy is a huge thing because if you're not gonna help defend your sport, promote it, like no one else out there is gonna do it.
Exactly. Right. This is our thing. Like, I asked my boy Rylan again, absolute stone cold killer. Don't ever mess with him because he might headbutt you or something. But I was like, one weekend I was frustrated and I was like, bro, why do we do this? Like, why do we spend the time, the money, the hour drive? Like, why do we do this? And he goes, bro, this is just what we do. And I was like, fucking facts. It's what we do, man. Like, if you are a paintballer, if you play paintball, it's just what you do. And it's something that is indescribable and it's almost unspoken. But your love for it, you have to kind of push that same energy out to the world so we can grow it. Because we don't want it to go nowhere. We just want it to get bigger, bigger events, bigger prizes, better content. All of that comes from all of us doing our little part. So, yeah, just, you got to do it.
For sure. So with your 5 years in paintball, what teams have you played for?
So I was a zone guy. Shout out Big Papa Jim, Jimmy Dogs, the Weenie God, the Glizzy Goblin. He cooks the meanest hot dog on this side of the Mississippi. But yeah, we were a zone team for a while. We started in D5. And one of the cool things about our team is most, say like 6 of 10, 5 or 6 of 10, we've all been playing together since D5. And that first D5 year, I think we won 4 of 5 events. I think it's 4 or 5 events. Might be 5 or 6. But we won a bunch. Then we moved to D4, got some more wins. And then we started picking up just pieces for our puzzle, like my boy Duran, Rylan, Luke. And then you got Max coming in. You got IPA David. But, I mean, it really started very organically, right? Like very, just, hey, let's just try out some tournaments. We started winning. And then we really turned it up a notch when it comes to the grind. And, like, more mentally, right? Like, fundamentally, all of us are pretty close to each other. Snap shooting, sliding, whatever. But mentally, like, we really push ourselves to walk the layout, find the shots, find the game plan, and stick to it. And that all comes from Devin and Max. So yeah, I'm super, super happy to see how far we've come. But it started at Zone, man. Zone Paintball. Houston Zone, I think is the official name, not Zone Paintball. But yeah, shout out Jim. So that was the first, 3 seasons. And then last year was our first season as Outlaw. And then this is our second season as Outlaw. Shout out Big Phil, baby.
Gotcha. So I know on the script that I sent you, we're going to actually skip around a little bit while we're on the topic. So you played with Zone for 3 seasons. You had wins, you had podiums throughout D5 and D4. And then when you made the jump out of D4, you switched to the Outlaw Anodizing name and team. So tell me about how the Outlaw team got started and how it was that you came to join them.
Dog, so it was like a novella. And, for the white homies, that's like a soap opera in Spanish. But it was really like it was very dramatic. My boy Justin, he wild one, bro. I mean, into the wild, that boy crazy. His beard should be way longer than it is because he's a wild man. But he kind of just he started working for Outlaw, and we had an opportunity to play for Outlaw, and he kind of just announced it to the world like, "Hey, we're playing for Outlaw now." But we were all in. I wish we would have handled it a little bit better because we were very loyal to Jim. And it did cause a little bit of controversy the way we did it. But at the end of the day, no regrets. I ride with Justin until the wheels fall off. And we kind of, we didn't burn a bridge, but Jim wasn't super stoked about it because we didn't handle it as good as we could have. But now we're all on good terms. But basically, Justin started working for Outlaw. He does anodizing. He's a sick beast with the anodizing game. Get your gun done. Hit up just in case. And when that happened, he started talking to Phil. And Phil, obviously a huge paintball guy, was like, hey, I wanted to make my own team. And Justin was like, well, we have a team where I work at Outlaw. So Justin really was kind of the connecting piece for that. And all the boys were in. And immediately Phil just comes and just supports us so much. He immediately started helping with sponsors. They built a drill field. So we have our own little private drill field at Outlaw, like on the Outlaw grounds where they do the anodizing. We have a little drill field. We call it the dojo. That's where we get a lot of our work in. But it was just like a no-brainer. We'd been doing the same thing for a couple of years, and we knew it was time to level up. And Outlaw was there, so Justin grabbed the torch and started the charge, and we all went with him. And I mean, it's like I said, no regrets, man. I'm an Outlaw guy for life now. I'm probably gonna get an Outlaw tattoo. Sheesh. And I'm super happy with how it's gone. And since we started Outlaw, I mean, last year it was just us, right? And now we have 2 D4 teams, 2 D5 teams, a youth, like an under 16 team, and then us as well. So it's just like the program has grown tremendously in the past, 15, 16 months. So I'm super pumped to where we're at and where we're going to go. Because, I mean, like, the ceiling is so high for us. Like, our line, I mean, not even just trying to brag and go too crazy, but, like, we have a lot of potential to keep growing. But so do the other guys, the younger guys, the lower division guys. It's just it's a family vibe. It's a community, and everybody has so much potential that I'm just glad to be a part of it and do what I can to kind of water the seeds and let the ganja grow, baby. I'm trying to get in there with the boys. I'm trying to have the D4 guys win, the D5 guys win, the rookies win, and anything I can do to help that and help Phil, I'm gonna do, because Phil is such a good guy and he loves paintball so much that it's hard not to kind of lean into that and be a part of that, because his passion is real. So is all of ours.
For sure. And I mean, just a lot of the things that you said just now have really, like, y'all's story is awesome and y'all have got the results to prove it, but it's also like not necessarily a unique thing across what's happened in Texas over the last couple of years. Like, you've got teams, not just teams, but whole programs that are popping up all over the state of Texas. You got guys like the Dragoons who have multiple lines. You've got, Shut Up We're Trying has always had multiple lines, and now they're all the way up to D2, and some of their players are getting pulled for AC Diesel. You've got Hypnotic's grown a whole lot. You've got, of course, my team, the Texas Titans. Like, there's programs all over Texas that have really embraced bringing in these newer players, like building from the ground up, basically D5, D4, D3, or wherever their highest line is.
True. Yeah, no, that's true. I didn't even think about it like that. I think that was really cool, actually. Like, the Shut Up dudes, like, big fan, like, big supporter. Their program is super tight. Titans, we rock with y'all tough. We gobble way better. Like I said,
I knew that was coming, man.
Yeah, y'all are the geese. You know what I mean? Trying to gobble it out, but it ain't the same. No, I'm just kidding. But now, for real though, like, the Titans, like, we have a lot of respect for. Hypnotic, like, shout out Enzo. Again, I think they were just one line at first, and now they have a whole program. I think it's good for the sport, man. Like, Texas paintball is huge and is very, very competitive. And I think by doing this, it kind of allows for a lot of players to grow and not just kind of stay stagnant, because you have the programs. You have the D2 and the D3 lines that these guys can work towards. You have the D2 and D3 guys that can help the younger dudes. So that's really cool. I didn't even think about that, but now that you point that out, like, that makes me hyped for Texas paintball, because it's way better than, like, all other states. So let's get it.
Yeah, and I think that you're seeing that over in, I mean, California has always had those top to bottom programs like the Phoenix Risings, the what's it called, CEP, and DMG. They've all have these, like, bottom to top programs, and now that you're seeing it in Texas, you're seeing, like, hey, Texas is whooping people's ass in these lower divisions because they're doing it right from the very beginning. Like, I remember not too long ago here in Texas, if you were starting out as a D5 or even a D4 team, like, there were so many players that had to figure that shit out all on their own, and it just, like, it was a slog, and you were just constantly getting beat. You were having these, like, mediocre showings at these events because you didn't have that system, you didn't have that structure to help guide your development, and you're just, like, kind of learning everything the hard way until either you figure it out and you make it, or you just quit, which unfortunately a lot of players did over that time period. But now that we've got all these programs in Texas, it, like, the level of competition is way higher, especially in D5 and D4. B, these players are sticking around longer because they know they've kind of been doing it right from the very beginning, and they have that trajectory where they're like, hey, I'm going to be on, that D3 or that D2 line, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, that's crazy. No, that's really true. And I'm not going to lie. And, like, when we came on as a D5 guy, like, the D5 guys, there wasn't a lot of people trying to look out for us. We had to learn the hard way. So I do feel blessed in a way to be able to help out these lower division dudes. But no, that's really cool, man. And it actually kind of highlights why Texas paintball is so dope, because we want to dunk on each other, bro. Like, I want to eat your breakfast and your lunch. I like blue Doritos and Capri Suns. So Titans, bring your blue Doritos and Capri Suns to practice, so we try to dunk on y'all. But at the end of the day, it's, like, so much respect and love, and, like, genuinely want y'all to do well. Like, if so we don't do well, I want a Texas team to do well. I want a Texas D4 team, Texas D5 team, all of it. Like, so it's kind of cool that we kind of formulated this whole vibe down here. And we're kind of big dicking on the rest of the country, bro. I ain't finna lie right now. So yeah, I like that you pointed that out to me, because I honestly and genuinely have never thought about it like that. And now I'm kind of like, this is hype. Like, we got a really cool thing going here in Texas, man.
For
And
sure. I mean, look at the results.
it gives people the reason to grind harder. I want to be on the D2 team. I
Mhm.
want to play with these guys. You know, it's not so much just you're on your little island, like you're on Survivor, just hoping that you make it to the end. Like there's definitely like room for growth. So yeah, man, Texas doing it right, baby. That Lone Star.
I mean, look at Bunkerfest. So Bunkerfest results. You had a lot of teams from outside the state flying in for this. Results. So U3v3, TKO takes first place. D5 5-man, PB Gateway out of Dallas takes first place. D4 5-man, FZR takes first place, and they're out of like the Valley. They're the Valhalla guys for the mechanical team.
Oh yeah, shout out Croon, baby, Croon Daddy, yes sir.
Okay, D5 X Ball, Texas Titans first place. TDSM in second place. I think there's TDSM. They're out of El Paso. Third place, Adrenaline out of the Valley. Fourth place, Houston Zone D5X. Austin Hypnotic. Fifth place. You have to go down to, I think, sixth place in order to get a team outside of Texas, and that's Ozarks out of Arkansas. And D4, which had 42 teams. Top two,
Austin
Notorious versus Texas Ultra in the finals.
Come on, both Texas teams.
D3, y'all, Outlaw Anodizing playing against Avarice in the finals. And then you have to go all the way to Premier, where you're seeing a non-Texas team at the very top. And even then, the battle for third place was Demolition and FSU, which are I think they're the only two Texas teams in that division out of 8. Because, yeah, Rip City's out of Oregon. So, like, you got two Texas teams out of 8 in the Premier Division, and they take third and fourth.
Yo, that's crazy. Those are crazy numbers. That's like those stats right there. The proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? The bread pudding could be Texas. But, no, like, it's on paper. You can't deny that. And it's what the best part about that is, like, a lot of those teams are teams that we want to practice and have respect for. And to hear that all of these teams that we talk about in our group chat are the ones that are doing it is hype, bro. Like I said, everything's bigger in Texas, and y'all know what that means. Texas got the eggplant emoji, man. Let's go. I'm hype about that. Genuinely, like every single team that you just named, shout out. Like Greed, like we beat Greed, right? Or Avarice or whatever the hell. But we're like have genuine respect for them. They've beaten us in tournaments. We've beaten them in tournaments. But we knew, like, when we saw they were our first match of the whole tournament, we were like, yo, boys, get ready, because these dudes are good. Like, they ball the fuck out. They do not play around. They practice good teams all the time. They're on the podium all the time. And it's really cool that we were able to kind of go against in the finals a team that we do have a lot of respect for and that are ballers. Like, it's not going to be easy to beat any of those teams you just named, which makes me hype for Texas. Like, that's tight. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of gets into this next question, which is brought to us by Hustletown Paintball, which is Jason Tinsley out of Houston. Head to hustletownpaintball.com. Use code PIT10 for 10% off of your order. So, among just the programs and kind of what I like to call the arms race that's happening in Texas right now with all of these programs and like other things, like y'all got the dojo, Fitz got Nightball, things like that. All these pro coaches coming in for all these divisional programs. So what are some things that have changed in the Texas scene, either for better or for worse, over the time period that you've been involved in paintball?
Definitely more community, you know what I mean? And shout out Jason Tinsley in Hustletown, because that's my dog. And he actually, one of my songs that was on the radio was called Hustletown. And he hit me up right when he made the come. He's like, yo, bro, that song kind of inspired me to start this brand Hustletown. And like his first post had my song playing in the background. So I got a lot of love for Big Red. That's what I call him. But I definitely think the biggest thing I've noticed is like the community vibe, right? Like Hypnotic. We went and practiced them right before Bunkerfest. Again, we knocked them out of a tournament. They knocked us out of a tournament. There's a little bit of like vendetta, a little beef there, but I want them to do well. And I feel like that community vibe has kind of grown a lot, like I'm a fan of all Texas teams. Well, not all of them, sheesh, but most of them. And I think that it really gives us the opportunity to shine. And I don't think we had that when I first came in 5 years ago. I think when I first came in, it was a lot more just like, rumble in the Thunderdome, do what you do, good luck. And now it's kind of like, how can we help each other out? We practice Pro Edge a lot and at Wasteland. And again, those dudes are from Texas, and I have a lot of love for them. Do I want to beat them in the tournament? I want to put them in the dirt. But outside the tournament, it's like, yo, I'm going to tell them if they bounce me. I'm going to tell them their paint was high off the break. And like, I feel like that is, to me, what I've noticed the most difference in. It's just like the Texas community vibe. And I think that it kind of goes back down to the fact that we're super competitive here. So we all know we can do good. So it's kind of like, yeah, let's just support them because they're good. I'm not like a team that doesn't put in the effort, that doesn't grind hard, that doesn't put in the hours. I don't give them the same respect like I give these Texas teams that I know are out there every weekend working. So I think that it's a lot more community oriented than it was when I first started. That's what I would say.
For sure. I know that in the other episodes that I've done with some of these older players that have been around for a long time, they used to say like Texas was very hateful back in the day. You know, like fights at practice was a regular occurrence. And yeah, nowadays,
zone, bro, if you want to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But
no, it was though. I mean, like, not. I mean, you know, I don't want to take away from zone because it's a great field, great energy. But no, it really was. Like when I first started, it was rowdy. Like all the time, I was on my toes, like, yo, who we squabbing? But that's just not what paintball is about, man. And I'm glad that as a whole, the state has been able to move on from that because that's corny, bro. Like we're not in the streets, bro. We're on the field playing paintball, right? We're grown kids with guns shooting at each other, you know. So for me, the fact that we could kind of, for the most part, obviously it gets, you know, a little sticky here and there, but for the most part, able to move away from that and kind of just be like a huge Lone Star State gang. I think that's really cool. And I'm grateful to be a part of that for sure. But you're right. Like Texas, when I came in, it was definitely like, yo, Texas dudes are rowdy. Texas dudes will fight you. Texas dudes talk too much shit. They ruin the sport. And I just don't feel like that's the same like consensus as it once was. So.
Yep, and I think it was Daniel Gomez, who's a professor at Texas A&M in the kinesiology department, and he actually teaches a paintball class. One thing that he said, like back in the day, was how do you know if a team was from Texas? They put Texas in their name, but nowadays it's like, how do you know a team's really damn good and it's gonna be a tough match? They got Texas in their name.
Nice. That's cool, man. Yeah, and then, you know, Haley, she just went out there and did like a seminar at Texas A&M. I'm assuming that that's connected.
Oh yeah,
those two. Which is really cool. Shout out Haley. Shout out the whole Leva family. That's my gang. That's my squad. But yeah, no, that's true, right? Like, and I expect the same thing at the NXLs. I expect the same thing at the USXBL. Like, people come in from out of town, but it's like, good luck, bro, because we're stacked down here, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and actually speaking of the Leva family, I think Lupe's here in the chat. So what's up, Lupe?
Of course, bro. That's my paintball dad, aka Big Brother, aka Big Dick Bandit, aka the most genuine gangster I've ever met. Lupe will do anything for anybody. And he was there when we started. Haley played with us the first couple of events in D5. Like, Haley was like 16, whatever she was. And like, she got a couple spins with us in those tournaments. And like, Lupe was there filling pods, cleaning guns. And ever since then, and his wife, she's amazing too. Like, there's such a good vibe with them. So Lupe, if you're here, I love you, buddy. You know that. I give you a huge hug at the tournament. Probably touch your butt, you know.
I mean, that comes standard with paintball tournaments, right?
You know what I mean? A little butt tag ain't gonna hurt nobody, man.
All right, so part of the arms race is all these pro coaches coming in to coach these divisional programs. I mean, Hypnotic has had Nico Hyde for, I believe this is their third season with Nico Hyde. Y'all have got Devin Stewart. The Texas Titans have Colt Roberts working with us on and off. We're actually going to have Colt Roberts coaching us at the D4 USXBL on Sunday.
Nice.
There's been, I mean, all the fit guys have constantly had, you know, the pros and semi-pros. They're just in and around them. And Team 13 over in Louisiana has had Jesse Stevens on and off as well.
Yeah, so, that's my little homie. That's the Rocket right there, man. Rocket, man. I love Jesse. But yeah, no, we got Devin. So
yeah, man. Tell us about how you made that connection with him.
Man, it's kind of a crazy story. So I first met Devin because of Twisted, and then he knew I made music, so I had a show at the House of Blues, and I was like, "Oh, I play paintball." He's like, "Oh, dude, I'm a pro, whatever." And he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna come to your show at the House of Blues." I was like, "Cool, I'll get you some tickets." So I got him some tickets. He showed up with some dude, whatever, but they came in with a couple guys, and when I was on stage, I shouted out Houston Heat, and I swear to God, I won his heart over right then and there. And my teammates were like, "You're not gonna shout us out, but you're gonna shout out Houston Heat." I'm like, "Bro, my boy from Houston Heat pulled up." And after that, like, me and him were super cool. And then I had a show in College Station, and I stayed at his apartment. His dog actually peed on my friend's head. It's one of the funniest stories in the world. But like, we crashed at his house after one of my shows in College Station. And after that, it was just solidified. And now Devin is like one of my closest friends. And I think the time came where our coach, Max, couldn't coach anymore. And I was like, "Hey, Dev, we're here." And he knows all the boys. He's known half of our team for 10 years. And it was a no-brainer. He was like, I'm in. He's like, I love you guys. Y'all's passion for the game is insane. It's out of this world. And since he came around, I mean, like, we've leveled up so much. He, to me, is one of the most underrated pros in the world. I think maybe on like a very bottom tier team, there's probably somebody who's just as good as Devin who I've never heard of. But when it comes to the big dogs, like the big dogs, Devin's right there with them. And I see it with my own eyes. I see it at practice. I see him drilling. I see them running points. And Devin's fucking people up. And the fact that we're able to have somebody of like his caliber and at that level give us insight, feedback, game plans, we're truly blessed. I mean, I don't know if we would have won any of the events that we would have won without him since he's come around. And like, yeah, it just kind of started on some homie shit. Like, you know, like he came to one of my shows and then I was like, hey, I got a show in College Station. He was living in College Station. We crashed at his house. And slowly but surely he turned into one of my closest friends. And yeah, man, like I just feel like he's such a beast. And I feel like slowly but surely people are really starting to catch on what Devin Stewart has to offer. And it's a lot, bro. He's on Houston Heat for a reason. You know what I mean? And he's been on Houston Heat for a reason. And I think that it's just a kind of a glimpse into what he has to offer is like our results. Because when it comes to paintball, dude is a genius. And yeah, I can't say enough about how grateful I am for Devin and how glad I am that we're able to even get a little bit of feedback from him, let alone him be our coach every weekend. So shout out Devin Stewart, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Devin. Just looking at the chat real quick.
That's actually the first time I watched your podcast when Devin was on, swinging it around, being nasty, talking about paintball. And I just remember being like, oh, dude, that's the Titans dude. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, and that's kind of how I got, you know, into the Pits podcast. And I've seen a couple episodes since, but yeah, it's really cool that I'm able to kind of follow him up after he was able to have an episode on here, man. Because, I mean, that was a good call by you, bro. He's a beast.
For sure. I appreciate it. And looking at the chat real quick, we got a lot of love coming in. Let's see. We got D-Grave PB. We got Sarah coming in with some love. We got Jay Cherry. We got a bunch of people in the chat. Let's see. Lord Taco Supreme saying Outlaw Life.
Hey, I don't know who that is, but I love tacos, my boy. So let's pull up. I like that.
Yeah, Sarah says,
cool, I'm glad that these people are tuned in. If you're talking about Sarah, that's my dog. She be doing all this, that, and the other when it comes to paintball. The Cherry family, stop playing with me. I love those dudes so much. It's insane. They got young guns. They got dudes in D5. One of the dudes, Hunter, bro, this dude is insane. So the fact that any of the Cherries are in the chat, that makes me feel good. Shout out to the Cherries for sure.
For sure. Let's see. David Ratchford in here, of course, giving shout out to Devin. He says Devin's the best coach because he tucks us in.
He does, bro. It's so funny. He reads us these like bedtime stories and he'll like warm us up chocolate milk. And then we all get in bed and he kind of pulls the covers right up to our jawline. Yeah, Devin does. He goes above and beyond for paintball. And shout out to IPA David because he's proud to be an American and he lifts weights. Like if he doesn't, he's going to stop breathing. And I respect his hustle so much. And when we were at our celebration steak dinner, we were all pretty hammered. And all I know is that he stood up in the middle of dinner, flexed and said he's proud to be American and said he was so drunk he couldn't taste the chicken. So, you know, shout out to the IPA David. Hey, man, they check in. They don't check out, boy. Let's go. And he's our newest pickup, actually. So we had a full squad. We had one slot left. And we had a couple of guys that we were looking at who were all killers. And we ended up deciding that IPA Dave, a.k.a. Ratch Daddy, a.k.a. Ratchford, was the one to fit in our team. And you saw that paid off because he played lights out, you know. So I'm glad that Rashford's on board for sure.
For sure. I saw David had a reel posted by Verbal earlier today. He's killing it in the snake.
Disgusting. Stop playing. 18 and up only. Don't watch this if you're young because he dies in the snake, kills the Texas. Dallas tries to fill it to the Dorito side like David ain't finna do the thug nasty on him. He did. So, yeah, no, shout out Rats for sure. Love that guy. I seriously, like, we watched a video of him and my boy Crab arm wrestling. I won $20 because my boy Crab won. This was after we won and we were all hammered. And dude, he's possibly the funniest guy I've ever met. And you should probably have him on this podcast because no lie, that fool's got all the sauce. I'm talking the mayonnaise, mustard, he had to catch up. This dude's crazy with it. I love Ratchford, man. I'm glad he's a part of our squad now, for sure.
For sure. We'd notice him at the Houston events, too. He's definitely been killing it. He definitely deserves everything that he's earned so far. So,
hell yeah. Yeah, that's cool that you know Ratch. Yeah, no, he's the man, bro.
Yeah, man. So T, outside of being a player, you're involved very heavily just in the paintball scene as a whole. You've also been a commentator for the HTPS event live streams. You were on that HK Army video, the Into the Future one that they posted. I think it was like last month or something. And then you do a couple of other things as well. So tell us about everything that you're doing in the scene outside of just playing.
I got you. Yeah, the HK thing was cool. That was I got really cool with all the boys. I went on a couple ski trips with them. We started hanging out when they came to Houston more. So now like Chad, Ronnie, Ryan, Yaya, even Fedorov, those are all like people I can call close homies now, which is super sick. Because when I first got in the sport, because a lot of them liked my music, so I didn't even know like how insane of a level like Fedorov was at. And as I got to learn more, I'm like, oh, dude, this dude, me and him are DMing. Like, that's my dog. So yeah, shout out to them because they were doing a documentary on Houston Heat and they practiced at Wasteland. Shout out Wasteland Paintball Park. And I ended up going back, hanging out with them afterwards, and they were shooting the interviews for the documentary. And Danny Lincoln, the Lincoln lawyer, this dude is insane with his content. He was like, yo, T, come hop in and troll a little bit. So yeah, that was really, really cool. But it all really stemmed from my music. So I'm a hip hop artist and a songwriter. I've had 2 songs on the radio here in Houston. One of them was with Zero. I don't know if anybody knows who Zero is, but he's a huge rapper in Texas. And then I've sold songs to Showtime, HBO, Noisy, Viceland, ESPN. So my real background is a music background. And that's kind of what introduced me to a lot of these guys, because a lot of dudes that I met in paintball, they already knew who I was through music. So that was really cool. We also have a comedy podcast at wildcard.ent. Y'all go check it out. That's actually where I am right now. The mics. I'm in the podcast studio. So yeah, I'm big into entertainment, bro. Like I just love creating and making things out of nothing. That Dylan Films guy, I don't know if you know him. He's always saying like make stuff or create things. Like whatever his slogan is, I love it because that's like embodies who I am. I will do music. I will do a short film. I will do a comedy skit. I'll do a podcast. I will commentate the event. If I can use my thoughts to kind of get my energy out there and turn something out of nothing, like it all starts with just these thoughts, right? I'm very grateful for it. And that's kind of what all those entertainment avenues provide for me. So yeah, it's like a music background. And now we do the podcast as well. I do a lot of comedy stuff. I also day trade, like I resell shoes. I do a lot, bro. Like I'm really just a hustler. I come from the southwest side of Houston, and we didn't have much growing up, and I just had to make it happen. So I'm real grateful for the music stuff that really kind of got me on the right path to even be able to afford paintball, because paintball is expensive. So yeah, my background is definitely a little bit different to most paintball players, I would say.
For sure. I mean, T2 is your handle for your music channel. And it's not something that, at least outside of Houston, I heard anything about, but just like looking it up, dude, you've got definitely some good things going on. And it's cool that you're able to take all of these different, like assets out, these different methods of putting all of this different content out, and being able to channel that into paintball as well. Because paintball, like we all know, paintball's not very good at promotion or really content creation, getting things out. Like there's some guys like Verbal, like Dylan Filmed It, that are starting to really figure it out and kind of lead the way for the rest of us. But like paintball is a very raw and like it's not very well saturated at all as far as like the content creation side of things. So it's cool that you're starting to get in there more and more, like, and on multiple like different facets, like the commentating,
yeah, man,
videos and everything, man.
No, it's really cool. And like I think people like Verbal and the Dylan Films It and Get That Shot and like all of these dudes, Soulless, like all of these dudes, even going down to the players like Ronnie, Yaya, like all of these dudes who make the content, it's imperative for our sport to grow. Because if you go watch Go Sports, like I said, I put on Go Sports at a barbecue recently, and none of my friends knew what the fuck was going on. If you don't play tournament paintball and you watch Go Sports, it's really hard to kind of grasp what's going on. But people like Verbal, who are up close and personal, who can slow-mo, who can change the pace, who can really have it in 4K and show you the action, to me, that's what's going to grow the sport. So I'm endlessly grateful for them. And if I can even be kind of mentioned halfway tiny 1% midget in the same category as them, I'm hyped. because that's what grows the sport. And I mean, look at Verbal's Instagram, bro. It's insane. Got like, I don't know, 200,000 followers, something like that. And the views he gets, that's what grows the sport, man. It's not going to be showing somebody a Dynasty versus Infamous match where you don't know what's going on. It's going to be that. It's going to be those clips of IPA David and the Snake wheeling and dealing. So I think it's imperative and absolutely crucial that we have those. And yeah, I appreciate you even kind of mentioning me even kind of the same category as some of those dudes, because I am trying to bring more attention to the sport and just grow it for all of us. So
I mean, the potential is there, right? Like if you look at Verbal especially, like he probably 2-3 years ago, it seemed like he came out of nowhere, right? And now it's like he's got his own blue check mark on Instagram and Facebook. Every time he like shares or comments on one of my pages, it's like, hey, this guy with like 1 million likes or 1 million followers or whatever, he shared your thing. And I'm like, oh god dang. Like this and
it's
he's
wild, bro.
It's happened so quickly, and all it takes is just getting stuff out there, and like even just that act of consistently getting things out there, you're among like a very small group. Like think of even in the pro division where you would think like these players and teams want to get their names out there the most. Who are the guys that are submitting content or submitting more things to really grow their own personal brand or like their notoriety as a personality within the pro scene? You've got the D's on Docs, you got Ronnie Dizon, you got the Spick and Span show, you got the Play the Game podcast with Tyler Harmon and Marcelo. That's it, right?
Yeah, man. No, for sure. And that's why people like Verbal are so crucial, because those dudes are industry legends, right? Like Ronnie, dog. Ryan and who's Spicka, dog. Tyler and Marcelo, dogs. So it's like you have those dudes that everybody knows, but it's the people like Verbal who are really going to take it to the next level. And side note, my dude looks like a gangster out there, okay? He's got a big old beard. He's got this cool contraption where it looks like he's holding up his camera with a string. It looks like he's about to go fly fishing. And dude is just out there getting the best content in the game. I love Verbal so much, and every time I see him, I'm always like, bro, you're the man, and can I get you a beer or a water or anything? Because what you do for the sport is unmatched. You know what I mean? So, and same, I've literally DM'd him and asked him for tips on Instagram Reels because he's just so good at it. And yeah, I'm grateful for dudes like that. It changes everything we got, bro. It changes it from being niche to being like digestible for the rest of the world, the rest of the internet. So yeah, shout out Verbal. I mean, he knows. Like if he's watching, if he's not, if he sees this, he knows like how I feel about what he does. So that's the man.
For sure. Shout out Brian. Definitely doing good stuff. Bringing some spotlight into the scene as a whole. All right. Awesome. So T, this next question is brought to us by my buddy Thomas on the Texas Titans FUAthletics. He makes athletic wear, and every purchase that you make gives back to cancer research. So go to thefuathletics.com, use code inthepits25 for 25% off of your order. So nice. T, everything that you've done in your paintball career, do you have a single favorite moment? I mean, I can think of one that happened like 3 days ago.
Yeah, no, but no, man, that's a tough one. First off, shout out that guy. Send me his info after this because I'm gonna support. Fuck cancer, and I'm a big fan of what he's doing. Man, dude. So yes, obviously, right? Like being the MVP. I've been the MVP of another tournament as well. That was great. This one was even better. But my favorite moment is when I was able to bring Devin and Max into the mix. It's not even about me being on the field. It's about these two dudes. So Max Porcher, he's the redheaded guy that was playing with us. He's been around for a long time. He stopped playing and he just ran his paintball field, and then he became our coach. But when we were able to get him on board as a player, and he only got on board because he saw how passionate and how much we wanted to win and how much we wanted to grow, to get him on board as a player and then to get Devin to also coach, that's like monumental for me because those are dudes that I looked up to since day one. And having them like be willing and like really wanting to be a part of what I built and what we built, it means the world to me, man. So I would like, aside from all of my cool moments, because I've had some cool ones on the field, I think my favorite moment is watching these two top tier, high caliber paintball players and paintball minds buying in to what I was bought into from D5 days. And that to me is just something that like really resonates and will forever. And this was the first tournament I was able to play with Max, and we won. Absolute dog. But yeah, I think when he agreed to come back to play and Devin agreed to coach, that's like the best moment for me, because those dudes are just like godly, bro. I'm talking insane. They got the GTA cheat codes. They got unlimited ammo, unlimited lives. And the fact that they wanted to like play with us is really tight. So yeah, shout out to Devin and Max. Those are my dogs. And yeah, I look up to them forever. So
yeah, I mean,
that's my answer to that dude. And also, yes, please send me his info, because even just off the rip, I'll order something just to support, because I think what he's doing is really cool. So
for sure, we'll do. Yeah, I mean, just bringing in Devin, and this result this past weekend, that's the first of hopefully many for you guys. And the potential is definitely there. I mean, the proof of concept already done. You got your gold, and now it's just like, hey, how many more hangers are you gonna hang up on your wall for these things, right?
Yeah, man, we want the series, bro. We're coming. I'm sure a lot of those teams that did well, they're like, oh, we're gonna beat Outlaw at the next one. But good luck, boy, because we coming. we coming for sure.
I mean, we already talked about how tough it is to stay on top in Texas, because there's a definite arms race and there's grind like everywhere. And they've all got the same goal, and that's to be where you are right now.
I think my favorite part about my team is after a tournament, right? I'm going to Mexico this weekend, so I can't even speak for myself. I'm going to be drinking tequila on a beach as the sun sets upon my olive skin. But the whole team was like, I'm thinking we're going to take a week off. The whole team was like, yo, we're grinding this weekend, right? I'm like, yeah. Be there Saturday and Sunday, right? So it's like, we're just ready. Like, it really lit a fire under us to want more. And yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, it really tickled my pickle when I started seeing the messages in the group chat, and everybody's like, yo, we're playing this weekend, right? Like, no weeks off. Like, let's go. It's 7 weeks till the next event. Let's grind. So yeah, no, it's hype, man. And shout out to Devin, because he helped us get there. And now the hunger, dog, we're like Hagrid, bro. We go to Hogwarts Hall and eat that magic food as it keeps disappearing. We're gonna keep eating, bro. I'm telling you, we hungry. We want it.
Perfect, because we definitely, hopefully we get our shot at the next event. Hopefully the Texas Titans come on in have a little bit better showing, and we're not
gauntlet.
Oh yeah,
it's on. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all gonna have to really come with them gobbles. We coming, bro, because the gobble gang is for real. Like, we really take it. And I see a lot of these teams coming out doing or the Indian Chan doing little gobbles. Say, bro, come bring the smoke to the OG Turkey gang, because we really about that gobble life. Let's get it. Now, what's so funny is y'all were right behind us. I don't remember exactly what day or what moment, but I heard y'all gobbling, and I was like, ooh, I hope we get to play them so we can gobble back.
I think it was, I think the first time might've been at Mardi Gras.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I heard it, I was like, all right, then. All right, then. Let's go. But nah, it's kind of, as much as I know where the OGs, triple OGs, or the origin of the gobble, I do appreciate like the fact that it's come like such a long way. And I've seen a lot of teams. I saw like 3 teams at Bunkerfest doing like the woo thing.
Yeah, I know that's an FSU thing for sure.
You know what I mean? Not quite the gobble, but it's close. And I just think it's kind of cool that now everybody's got these like war cries, and we're getting right. I literally got a turkey tattoo on my ankle, because that's how much the gobble gang means to your boys. So yeah, it's tight.
It is funny, because I was talking with someone, and we both kind of approached the gobble from different directions. Like, we came to it like completely differently than y'all did. We got it off of it was like a King of the Hill thing for us on the Hank. There's a YouTube channel called Hank Trill, where it's just like a dude rapping, just like, and he's like being Hank Hill while he's dropping his own mixtapes, and that's how we approached it.
I had no idea. I mean, I knew it wasn't like directly from us,
right?
But when we heard it, was like, holy fuck, there's another team gobbling, and immediately it was like, yo, we want the smoke with those guys. And it wasn't in like a mean, aggressive way. It was like, yo, let's go, gobble versus gobble. Yeah. And then when I realized it was you and the Titans, like, again, y'all have a really good program, and y'all have, honestly, since I started, Titans were always a name. I remember when I was commentating the HTPS one time, I think y'all won 2 different divisions in the HTPS, and I was like, yo, these Titans dudes are going off. So yeah, no, it's really cool that it's kind of became a thing. We'll always be the OG gobble, but no, we got a little bit of respect for y'all's gobble too, man. We need to practice and really see, how the gobble is going to go down. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, I'm sure we'll see each other plenty throughout the season, right?
Oh, it's coming, baby. I hope you got your big boy britches on, because we bringing that smoke.
For sure, and we'll bring it right back.
It. No, for sure. No, I know you do. Man, there's this one dude on your team who I love so much, man. I forget his name. He's a bigger dude, big white dude. and he like coaches a bunch. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
That's Dylan Strickland. Yep.
Yeah, Dylan Strickland. Yo, I love that dude. Every time I see him, we're not like friends or anything, but every time I see him, I'm like, "What's up, baby?" We give each other a big dap. It's just good energy, and I like that. Like, I want y'all to want to beat us as bad as we want to beat y'all. But the second the match is over, to laugh, have a beer, dab it up, give each other hugs. Like, that's what, to me, paintball is about. It's like, let's get rowdy, but also let's like grow the sport and be a community. And like you at Bunkerfest, I try to give you a dose. I said, "You want a beer?" You're like, "Yeah." I try to give you a Dos Equis. You're like, "Modelo?" I was like, "Oh, we got Modelo, my dude. We got Modelo." Mm-hmm. He's like, "All right, I don't want that, though." And that's how I knew me and you were locked in, because I'm a Modelo guy. So, but it's love, bro. It's like, yeah, that's the Titans dude. I love that dude. Hey, come get a beer, and like that should be the energy. We should want to beat each other and want to fuck each other up, but we should also have love and like respect. So I think that's like the best way for Texas paintball to continue to move forward, is the competitive nature along with like the community vibe. So
for sure, I think the end goal is, looking at Bunkerfest, the entry for the second event just opened. I think the end goal for there is to fill the whole thing with just Texas teams. So like 10 premier teams, 14 Division 3 teams, 40 Division 4 teams, 10 D5 teams. It needs to be all Texas, because like for the longest time, Texas, it was like, okay, you got your D5 team, you got your D4 team, and like your D3 team that would go to NXL. They would smack everybody, but then they would disappear after D3. Up until Paintball Fit and Austin Notorious started climbing up to D2 and D1, and now it's like, all right, the race is on. Let's see who else is going to get up there. Look at how Texas Demolition did. Texas Demolition was on fire.
Crazy, bro. Shout out that dude T, man. The other T. I think T Munoz is there, dude. That dude's a killer, bro. We were watching them, man. They're super, super good. I hope we can practice them. There was some whispers and some talks about practicing them. I'd love to practice them, because those dudes look solid. We were watching some of their matches, man. Yeah, shout out to Demolition for sure.
For sure. And so, kind of talking about the next Bunkerfest event, what's next for Outlaw? So Bunkerfest just opened. NXL Lone Star entry is going on right now, and then USXBL is this weekend. So what other events and series does Outlaw plan on participating in this year?
So our lower division teams are going to be very HTPS oriented, as well as Bunkerfest. But the next HTPS is like May 5th and 6th. And like anybody who wants to compete, y'all need to come out, because it's a great local series for Houston. Our line specifically, we're Bunkerfest this year, like heavy. It's just kind of what worked out with our sponsors and what we wanted kind of as a team. So some of our guys will be playing at NXL, different teams, maybe together, some 10-man stuff, some 3-man stuff. But our main focus is Bunkerfest and winning the series. We're already signed up. We saw it opened up. We're already one of like the 4 or 5 D3 teams on there. And for Outlaw, it's just grow the sport, man. Like, we have such a good program right now. And like, a big shout out to Primitive Vapor Co., because one of our sponsors, they have a big influence on what we're doing at Outlaw. And we want to win for them. We want to win for Primitive. We want to win for Big Phil. And it's like, it's something that we have as a team, is like a fire under us to really go hard for the people who are putting, effort into us, putting time into us, putting everything into us. So for us, it's just like, let's dub the series, man. Like, and I want the other teams to be like, oh yeah, they're not going to do it, because, good luck stopping us, because we're really coming for it, dude. So for our line specifically, it's going to be a lot of Bunkerfest. For the other lines, it's going to be some Bunkerfest, some HTPS, and a little bit of NXL as well. But it's just work harder. Our D4 team, they went 3-1 in prelims. They got knocked out in Ochos, I think. But, it's same thing. Wait, didn't they beat the Titans, or am I tripping?
You said D4 or D5?
In D4. I'm pretty sure we might have.
D4, I think so. Yeah, I think it was like a last second buzzer hang, right?
These dudes are like a newish team. Like, they haven't been playing together that long. And it's like, our goal is not only to win the series, but to help those dudes grow. Like, I got so much love for our D4 and our D5 and our young gun guys. It's wild. I didn't even think like it was possible to care just as much about like our line as the other lines. But now that Outlaws really built the program, like I do, I'm fully invested into these dudes. So I think for all of Outlaw in general, it's just work harder and shout out Outlaw, you know what I mean? And shout out Primitive. And yeah, we're really just trying to come hard, bro. We all get 2 days a week, maybe one drill day to really do this. So on those days, we're going to capitalize and just try and work harder than everybody else.
Sure, absolutely. So looking at the chat, y'all, we're getting towards the end of our episode. So if you got something you want to ask T, get it in now. and we'll get to it here in a second. So, T, in addition to, Bunkerfest obviously being your main series, and you're also focused on HTPS, I hear that y'all have a one-on-one tournament coming up as well.
We do, bro. We definitely do. April 16th. All right. Shout out Big Phil. Shout out Primitive. Shout out Outlaw. $1,000 prize for the first place in the one-on-one. Also, we have raffle tickets. Bro, we got 2 custom anodized ARs and a Glock, all ready to go for these $25 raffle tickets. We got Hormesis, we got signed masks from Dynasty, we got Enjoy Paintball stuff donated, we got Houston Heat stuff donated. It's gonna be crazy. April 16th. It's going to be a huge day at that Wasteland Paintball Park, which is the new field in Houston. And like when the Heat guys and some of the X Factor guys and the Impact guys were down, they were all talking about how it's one of the best fields they've ever played on. We are spoiled. Our field is pristine and clean, like a janitor is working that thing. Like, I want everybody to come down, not only to play in the one-on-one, try and make a rack, try and get an AR, custom AR, get a Glock, but to really just experience what Wasteland Paintball Park has to offer, bro. It has developed a whole new community in Houston and a whole new vibe. And all the teams that came from Wasteland, they competed well. They did well. They made it out of prelims. And I just think that for any teams outside of Houston, it's a great place to come and practice. You could bring your D5 line, your D4 line, your D3 line, your D2 line, your Young Guns line, and you're going to get the looks you're looking for coming out to Wasteland. But yeah, April 16th, one-on-one tournament, 2 ARs and a Glock and a whole bunch of other paintball stuff is in the fundraiser. $1,000 prize for the winner of the one-on-one. Y'all, please come out. It's going to be a crazy day, April 16th, for sure. Big Phil, I love you, baby.
All right, for sure. So how do they sign up if they're interested?
You can hit me up directly. You can hit up Big Phil. You can hit up the Outlaw Anodizing Instagram page or Facebook page. And if you want a raffle ticket, we can also do that online as well. Just DM any of the Outlaw guys. A lot of people know Just In Case, Archaeologist on Instagram, Sebastian, everybody calls him Crab, Zeuston. You can hit up Devin Stewart. You can hit me up directly. And we'll get you right to where you need to be. We can get you signed up for the one-on-one. We can get you your raffle tickets. And then you can also do it in person as well, day of. But if you're trying to get locked in beforehand, just hit one of us up and we will get you directly to the source and get you locked in. I'm playing the one-on-one, so, bring the smoke. If we've ever had me and you had a thing, come duel it out with me in the one-on-one. So I want that rack, bro. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, that's a good price for a first place in a one-on-one, dude.
Yep. $1,000. You've got ARs and Glock on the line. It sounds like a good time.
All right. It's at a real street wise right there. We're street savvy down here. But no, seriously, they do anodizing, right? So they do not only paintball markers, but they do real guns, ARs, pistols, all that. And so to see what they do with these ARs is really cool. The Glock is so pretty. And then all the other prizes in the fundraiser, bro, like I would just buy half of the thing. So to just buy a raffle ticket and maybe walk away with some of these cool, paintball items is really next level. So yeah, y'all check it out and check out Outlaw Anodizing Paintball. Hit up Archaeologist, Devin Stewart, me, any of the dudes, and we'll get you linked in with all the info that you need. All
right, for sure. So hit them up on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, if you want to get signed up. All right. So
yes, sir.
This next question, T, is something that I ask everybody that comes on the show. So this one is brought to us by Get Dat Shot. Message Get Dat _shot on Facebook or Instagram for media coverage at Bunkerfest or NXL. He's going to be at the full series for both of them. So if you're heading up to Round Rock in a couple weeks, hit him up. Get your photos and videos. So, T, is there anybody in Texas, either teams, players, brands, projects that have caught your attention lately? Who do you think deserves more recognition for what they're doing in Texas?
That's a hard one, man. And like, it sounds cliche, but I really am going to say Wasteland Paintball Park, what they've been able to build there. Bro, come out. Like, I'm going to get y'all to come practice us. You're going to see this. The fields are perfect. They're seamless turf. It doesn't hurt. Like, it's one of the first places I've ever had to play where I don't think about it when I'm sliding. I don't even look down because I know it's perfect. And we just have such a good positive energy out at Wasteland that I think there's nobody else that I could point out more that's doing something for the sport that's special right now than Wasteland, which is where we play. So if there was one brand, I love Enjoy Paintball. Nico is my dog, and they have cool shirts, cool headbands. Half of my team, Archaeologist, Just In Case. the way he anodizes these guns is crazy. Like I would love to shout him out too, but for me, like the people that really stand out, the brand that really stands out is Wasteland. So shout out to Wasteland Paintball, and yeah, everybody come out, man, come get these spins. Like let's get these spins in.
Sure. Shout out to Wasteland. I mean, I was there. You know that I know.
You were there. Yeah. We chopped it up.
Yeah, man. Field is definitely comes as advertised. So if you've never been there, definitely worth checking out.
Let's go, baby.
All right. So let's get to the chat. Let's see. Last chance to get questions in the chat now.
Yes, sir. I'm about to go.
So I'm just scrolling through right now. Lupe says best guest ever. It's Hank 16 says T is always my MVP. We are Outlaw. We love warfare. Outlaw for life. T's definition of girth. Let's see what else do we got on here. T says you're a great role model on the field. You definitely push everybody to be better. Pate says T, you played the best I've ever seen you play your Bunkerfest. Shout out to Pate.
I told you, hey, Pate, we actually talked about you before we started the podcast. So I told him, I was like, yo, Pate's that guy, and he'd be a great guest. But yo, yeah, shout out to all those comments. Keep going, because that's just like, sure. I'm feeling butterflies right now from all these compliments.
Mm-hmm. Mikey B the King says it gets hot down here in Texas. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Absolutely. I mean, there's no off season here in Texas, right? I mean, it's still snowing up in the Northeast, and meanwhile, you know, we got like 70, 80 degrees, and keeps warming up. I'm sure USXBL is gonna be pretty warm too. All right, keep on going in the chat. Let's see, Lupe's a man. Question from Panda Gaming says, how is the Young Guns program looking like for these teams?
Bro, so shout out to Outlaw Young Guns, because I see them work super hard every weekend and they're going crazy. But dude, when I was watching the Young Gun matches, I was so blown away. There's like these 12-year-olds that are just balling out, communicating, keeping their kill count, and I'm just like, it's mind blowing. I wish I would punch my sister right in the shin to have been able to start playing at that age and really grow with it. So I will say that especially the Texas Young Gun teams are looking insane. And if you have a kid or a younger brother or anything like that you want to bring out, you can hit up Outlaw, but you can also hit up a lot of these other Young Gun teams. And they're killing it, man. Like, I think Outlaw, we have something really special. So hit up Phil if you have a younger dude who wants to play. But just watching a lot of those teams, man, I was so impressed. I think it's really, really cool that we even have that at Bunkerfest to kind of experience and like watch. So
I think Young Guns is the new hot trend, right? They debuted at Cup, and now you're seeing a lot more Young Gun teams come up out of nowhere. So it's hopefully can be a strong thing that continues, and we're going to see more and more, not just nationally, but also regionally and locally. It would be a really cool thing to see. All right, keep on going down through the chat. Paintman5762 is also shouting out to the 1v1 on April 16th.
Let's go.
Let's see. Shout out Sun Club.
The Sun Club. Hey, man, that's that 7 a.m. boys, bro. For real. That's like, if you Sun Club member, respect. Talk about girth. I'm talking whale, bro. I'm talking orca. All right. So if you come into the Sun Club, then you coming with it. And I respect that.
For sure. All right. Sarah, appreciate it. Says much love for you and everything you do. Shout out to you, Sarah. It was good seeing you this weekend. Thank you for putting up with me as I was telling you, hey, the clock is skipping. You need to add 30 seconds to the countdown timer, because on the giant field during the break time, they would only add 30 seconds instead of the full minute between the split deck points. So it's like basically every point I was shouting at Sarah. I was like, Sarah, you got to add the 30 seconds. So she just put up with me the whole weekend. So
hey, man, we got you covered like a blanket, though. You know, she held it down. Yeah. That's same though. We dealt with the same thing. I was like, damn, bro, this already at like 10 seconds. I just got potted up. Yeah, no, that was crazy.
I appreciate you, Sarah. Let's Mikey B the King. We got some good, funny questions in here. So, who has the biggest eggplant on Outlaw?
Probably. Yo, dude. I'm going to give it to my boy Max, bro. He's probably that sleeper hole. Yeah, I mean, he's a little skinny redhead kid, but that dude is hung like a moose in Yellowstone Park, brother, for sure. So, I'm going to give it to Max. Or maybe Big Phil. You know what I mean? Elephant Trunk Phil is what we call him.
All right.
Yo, Outlaw.
Yeah, Outlaw Gang. All right. Sorry, Sarah. We answered that question anyway. She's saying I don't need to know the answer to that one, but sorry, you heard it. All right. So, T, that pretty much does it for our time. This final question is brought to us by Compete, which is Jell Stewart's brand. Message him on Facebook or Instagram. Mention In the Pits for 10% off of your order of soft goods. So, T, thank you so much for your time. Do you have any last shout-outs or things you'd like to say before we sign off?
Man, just come out, play the 1v1 on April 16th. We have tryouts as well next weekend. If anybody wants to come be a part of the Outlaw squad, shout out Big Phil and Outlaw Anodizing, Wasteland Paintball Park. And yeah, man, just everybody on my team, you know, Jake Matthews, Snake Matthews, Crab, Justin, Luke, Chico, Mexican Turtle. Cheese. You got Mash, you got Rylan, you got Duran, you got IPA David, who's got the sickest shot in the West. And like I said, man, they check in, they don't check out. And that's just what we're here for, bro. We're here to put in that work. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's in the chat showing love. But most importantly, it's Outlaw Anodizing. We are Outlaw. We love warfare. Come get this smoke in the 1v1 and shit. Maybe win $1,000. And shout out to you, man. Thank you for having me on. And little things like this, they go a long way, right? We both have something to share now, and it just grows the sport, follower by follower, like by like, view by view. So, you know, like big, you know, head tilt for you for having this platform and growing the sport, my dude. I'm rocking with it for sure.
Appreciate it, man. I mean, it's been, 41 weeks now. Like, I remember when I started this last year after the second USXPL, I was just driving home and I was like, what if I did a podcast? And then like 3 days later, I got Cole Roberts on for episode 1 and we've just been going strong ever since. So
nice. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's been supporting me, encouraging me, you know, liking, sharing all the posts, all the episodes.
Yeah, man. And that's
it definitely goes
right.
a long way.
I tell people all the time, a like and a share and a comment goes a long way, you know? So I'll definitely continue to do that for you. And I'm a fan of In the Pits. So yeah, and just hit me up on Instagram at TQ.MP3, our comedy podcast, at wildcard.ent. And yeah, follow In the Pits, share this, and let's keep running it up, man. Let's grow this sport and let's have some fun. Let's shoot the fuck out of each other.
For sure. All right. So everybody in the chat, let's see, looking through the chat for any last second comments. Let's see. We got one more question actually. So from Frosted Mallard says, T, you going to be playing any scenario games this year?
That's going to be a team decision. I'm definitely more of a tournament paintball guy. I do enjoy rec ball here and there, and scenarios can be cool. If I do, it's going to be with the Area 51 and a lot of the old Twisted Militia guys. And if my team wants to do it, then for sure. I do appreciate the origin of paintball, being out in the woods, crawling around, fucking people up. So it's possible, but my focus is very much on the tournaments and winning this series. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely possible.
All right, yeah, for sure. All right. So that pretty much does it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to go follow T. That's at t2.mp3 and at wildcard.ent on Instagram. So
Let's go, baby. Hey, man, shout out to all the teams at Bunkerfest. I know y'all coming for the smoke, and we won it. I got a swisher ready. Come bring it on the next one, man. We're going to try and capture the series. So, yeah, let's get rowdy. Let's get rowdy. Shout out to Greed. Shout out to Avarice. Shout out to the Titans. Shout out to Paintball Fit. Shout out to all the Texas teams who are doing it. Shut up, we're trying. TKO, Hypnotic, just all of them, bro. Like, it's really about Texas paintball, and I'm an advocate. So, yeah, let's run it up.
For sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. We're going to be a big one for this next one. I think everybody knows just where they stand and just how much more work to either get to the top or stay on top. So y'all, everybody in the chat, again, thank you so much for tuning in. What other guests would y'all like to see on the show? Be sure to leave a comment down below. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button. The show goes live weekly here on youtube.com/@inthepitspaintballpodcast, and recordings are posted to YouTube, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify the next day. I want to give a shout out to my partners and my sponsors, FUAthletics, Get That Shot. One person that I didn't mention earlier was Colt Roberts and his Paintball Kumite program, which is his own like training regimen for paintball. He breaks, the game down into the basics, easy to learn, simple, and message at Paintball Kumite on Instagram if you want to sign up for a class. And if you mention the show, you'll get a free 1 hour session. And then also shout out to Compete and of course Hustletown Paintball. So we will see you all next week for episode 42, where we will have Andrew Howe on. He's still coming on the show. We just need to push him back a week. And again, T, thank you so much for filling in on short notice.
No doubt, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody who's in the chat. We are Outlaw. Definitely follow the boys. And yeah, keep supporting my boy Christian, man. Let's go. I'm a big fan now. I'm a rider for In the Pits, bro. I'm in the pits and I'm potting, wiping hits. So let's get it, man. Shout out to you. Thanks for having me, my bro.
Appreciate it. Everybody, stay tuned on Facebook and Instagram. We're going to be announcing coming soon the schedule for April. I mean, we already got the first guest. Just stay tuned for the rest. All right, y'all. We will see you next week. T, thank you so much.
Later, brother.